Most founders say they want freedom, but they're still checking Slack 17 times a day, and they're still jumping into every fire like it's their full-time job. Here's how to break that cycle. It's a simple, powerful CEO dashboard. I want to talk about that today. It's just 3, 4, 5 metrics that you need. It's all it takes to see what really matters in your business without getting buried in all these updates. It's something you can take a glance at in the morning. I usually do it super early in the morning, like before things get really busy. Take a look at the dashboard, see what is going on so I know where things are in my business, what needs to be addressed, and how to address them for that day. This isn't about flying blind. It's about leading from the cockpit, right? Not in the trenches. You've got to have the right perspective on things. Stick with me. I'm going to show you how to run your business from the outside without losing visibility. I'm Brett Payne from brettcpayne.com. And if you're tired of being the one who has to know everything, you got to fix everything, how you have to chase everything, it's time to build a CEO dashboard. This one system, it finally helped me to scale without micromanaging. And that's what I want to help you do as well. So let's dive in. Point number 1, stop leading with gut and updates. Here's what most founders do. They lead from the gut instinct, right? They chase these updates in Slack, or they wait for the meeting on Monday to kind of see how things are going. But that's not really leadership. That's triage. That's reacting or responding. As a leader, you've got to be able to have a vision for the future on where things are going. Okay. You've got to understand the temperature of where your company is right now, not just in kind of the finances and the direction and the growth, but also with your people. And you've got to understand where that is headed so that you can lead them to the right place. But you've got to know what those numbers are. You've got to know what the indicators are. Otherwise, you're going to go into every meeting or to every conversation with a staff member, and it just is all reactive. It's not proactive. And that is not leadership. You don't want to get stuck being the person who's they're just fixing everything all the time. You don't need more updates. I know. You need a system that's going to show you what's wrong and what's working and what's not working, and you need to be able to do it very quickly at a glance. That's where the dashboard comes in. Point number 2, what a CEO dashboard actually is. Let me talk about that for just a moment. It's not some fancy software. I wish there was like some fancy software. There's a lot of software that kind of does these kinds of things. It's not 37 metrics. It's not like you're looking at the front of a 747 with all these little gadgets and measurements. It's not that. It has to be very simple, right? You need 3 to 5 core KPIs. The numbers that if you just checked, nothing else would still tell you the truth. And you got to figure out what those things are. I'm going to talk about them. Think about them like your vital signs, right? Like you're in the hospital, right? They're simple, they're visible, they're actionable. You can just see what these 3 numbers are, these 5 numbers are. Let me give you some examples. Might be things like weekly revenue. You can see that based on how it is currently compared to maybe last month at the same time, maybe last week, maybe last year, right? Be things like the sales pipeline health. How many people are in the pipeline itself? Where are they in the stages of the pipeline? You can see those numbers. The project delivery percentage, like how many of these are actually being delivered successfully? It could be something like the churn rate of your customers. What is the retention rate of your customers? Is that churn rate going up or down? It could be task completion. The number of tasks that you have, maybe the staff is finishing 60% of what they are working on instead of typically the 80%. You go, what's kind of wrong with this? It's just examples of things, but there's things in your business that are the prime KPIs, the 3 to 5 things that you want to look at every single day that are updated so you can have a very good understanding of the health of your business. Because otherwise, again, you're just going to be reactive. If you're serious about building a business that outlives your efforts, hit subscribe. Every week, I drop practical videos just like this one to help you scale without you having to babysit. Point number 3, build for visibility, not vanity. Here's where most dashboards fail. They're too vague or they're too bloated. You get too excited with all these numbers and all this data, and you just look at this thing and you go blind because you don't actually know what any of it means, right? Or you pick a couple things, but they don't really tell you anything, right? So if you've got a business that has pretty consistent customers, and maybe you got corporate customers, maybe 30 or 50 or 70 or whatever the number is, and that's one of your metrics, but you know in your heart that number doesn't really change that much. And if one dropped off, you'd know about it instantly. That might not be something you look at. Maybe there's something else in terms of satisfaction that you would look at, or customer reaction, or how many times your client success people are in contact with them. Maybe it's questions that are coming in on your support lines or things like that. You want something that really matters, right? It's not about how much you track, it's about tracking the right things. What are the right things in your business and making them visible in one place so that you can see them. You can use things like Airtable is great. You can use Notion is great. You can use Google Sheets. That's great. It doesn't matter. What does matter? Well, what matters is that you can see your business at a glance without asking for an update. That's the main thing. It doesn't matter the tool that it's in. It's got to be something that's easy for you to look down at your phone on, to look at your laptop or your PC, your desktop. You can quickly see every day or every week where those numbers are sitting. So let me ask you something. If your team didn't send a single update for 7 days, what would you wish you could see on a dashboard? Like the things that they're typically telling you, if they just went quiet for a whole week, what would you want to know most? Those are the things that would be on your dashboard. Tell me what that is for you. Drop it in the comments. I want to hear what the visibility gaps are that you're having, that you're wrestling with right now. Point number 4, from in the weeds to at the helm. When your dashboard is live, your role shifts, right? I talk about this idea of being an architect instead of being a builder. Well, if you are at the helm of your business, you're no longer managing the task, you're scanning the signals. That's the idea. You're scanning the signals, right? You go from, did we send that proposal, to our close rate dipped. Let's work on the sales team and help them. It's not about the details. It's about the vision that you have. You go from things like, is the development team behind again? To our delivery rate dropped by 15%. What's going on? Like, why did it move like that? That's the power of a real CEO dashboard. It puts you in command without needing to hover and micromanage over everything. Point number 5, visibility without systems is just a mirage. Let's really kind of bring this home, okay? Your dashboard tells you what's happening, but without a central knowledge base, your team still will not know what to do next. Even if you have the best KPIs, even if they fall apart in your playbook and they live in all of these Slack threads that you have, or a dusty Dropbox folder, if that's happening, then you are losing track of what is happening in your business. There has to be the system to actually put the thing in place. You don't want to have just visibility of these things and your team doesn't know what to do with them. If you're ready to connect the dots, then I recommend go watch How to Build a Knowledge Base Your Team Actually Uses. It's a long name, but you'll find it. That's where you're going to get the real leverage. Your dashboard shows you the issue and your knowledge base tells your team how to fix it. Two sides of one coin. The link is in the description for that video. The CEO dashboard, it puts you back in control without all the chaos. The chaos is gone, but you have, what does it matter if you have control without clarity? It's still a trap, right? This is why you want to go watch that next video. How to build a knowledge base that your team actually uses next. That's the one that you want to go to. It's the missing piece for you. You don't want to just see the dashboard, see what's wrong, and nobody know what to do with it. Freedom isn't just stepping back from your business. It's not stepping back from your work or your calling of what you're supposed to do. It's knowing that your team knows what to do without having you in the loop. So let's go build that business.